What a beautiful artistic report. I hope your viewers, you enjoyed it. And now moving from art to environment. So we know that environmental geology is a fundamentally important branch of science because it directly impacts every single person on the planet every single day.
And also there is a simple no way to avoid the environment around you, dear viewers. So let's introduce our first interview segment for today for our first guest, Dr. Arafat AShuaibi. He's an assistant professor in the Department of Earth and Environmental Science. Hello and good morning.
Hello, good morning, Ustad Abdulaziz. Good morning, Ustad Sarah.
Good morning.
And thank you for having me today.
It's our pleasure, Doctor. So first of all, let's introduce yourself, Doctor, to our dear viewers.
My name is Arafat Abdullah AShuaibi. I'm an associate professor at the Faculty of Science, Kuwait University. And I received my bachelor's, my master's from Kuwait University. I got my PhD from the University of Texas at Dallas in the United States in 2006. I've been teaching for 23 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you also, Doctor, you're still a flower and we are very proud of you about your achievement. It's something you want to benefit your country, Kuwait.
Correct.
So, Doctor, first of all, before we start our conversation, I would like to greet your family. They are watching us from Dubai.
Oh, thank you.
And they are sending your regards to you, from our colleagues.
Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, my sister, I told her.
She's watching you, I know, on live on this air permitting. Doctor, what is important, because I see already you are providing us too many variety of stones, variety of materials. So what is important to study environmental and the science of geology, Doctor?
Let me explain it from their definition. Probably this will summarize the whole story. When you talk about environmental sciences, it's a science that is concerned with the physics, geology, ecology, meteorology, engineering, chemistry related to environment and its impact on human. Vice versa also, it's the anthropogenic activities impact on the environment.
Okay.
If you want to talk about geology, geology is comprehensive, more comprehensive science because it involves the earth dynamics, its structure, its composition from minerals, rocks, and the physical, biological, chemical processes that shape it, and its history from 4.6 billion years up to today.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, a variety of things. It's very new knowledge, Sarah.
Exactly. So, Doctor, as we see here in the table, many stones you brought
Correct.
for us. So you are familiar with the stones.
Right.
So what is the most common and famous rock?
There are three types of rocks on Earth since it was created. You have igneous rocks, which forms from crystallization and lithification of the magma, which is the molten material below the Earth. If it crystallizes below the Earth, we call it plutonic igneous rocks. On the Earth's surface, we call it volcanic igneous rocks. Okay, you can tell volcanic from its nature. It comes through volcanoes like basalts and so.
Yes.
The other type is sedimentary rocks, which involves breaking down rocks into sediments, and then they will be transported to certain environment. They will be compacted, lithified, and form a rock. Both, the third type is metamorphic rocks, which is simply you need temperature and pressure to partially melt either igneous or sedimentary and metamorphic rocks, and then you will form metamorphic rocks.
Oh.
So these are the three basic types of rocks on Earth.
So do we have like some other famous rocks here in Kuwait?
Most of rocks in Kuwait are buried below the Earth's surface because, as you can see, we don't have that much of a mountains in here. But let's say the oldest exposed rocks in Kuwait is Miocene in age, which is about 23 million years old. This is an Ahmadi quarry.
Yes.
Most of them are sedimentary rocks, limestones, cherts, clay stones. All the way when you go to Jalazor, which is very well known as Al Mutla' area. Okay, so this is the highest point in Kuwait. It reaches about 350 meters above sea level. And over there also you have a lot of sedimentary rocks, conglomerates, sandstone, limestones. And that's what we have. But if you go abroad, you can see all other types of rocks, whether it's in the GCC or worldwide.
Wow,
Yeah, but
many
commonly we have sedimentary rocks in Kuwait.
So we call it the knowledge and the information about the rocks, it's multi, because you're already studying from overseas, you see a variety of rocks, and you're coming here to our lovely country, Kuwait, you will see some like similar rocks to the Asia, so Latin America, North America, yes, different than here. Right. But I noticed, I learned from my knowledge, when I was in the high school, maybe even Sarah for sure, she's yes, teaching science. When we taught us geology, about the solidity of the rocks, from 1 to 10, diamond to something, right? Yeah. So what about the rocks, it's your favorite rock? What one do you like the most, Doctor?
Well, Salih Abdulaziz, I favor a mineral more than rock, which is diamond.
Diamond.
Why diamond? Because diamond has physical criteria that can break everything on its way. It's the hardest mineral on Earth on the scale of 10. Yeah. Hardness or Mohs scale, it's 10. Actually, it is used in the drilling pits. When you want to drill for oil, they have the diamond pit. It can penetrate the hardest rock on Earth without any problem. In addition, it's a very nice gift to your wife, for example.
So it's like a gift. So from the mineral, it's 10 solidity, 10 by
Correct.
10.
Yeah.
And for the other gifts, it's like the most precious material in the world, and good for you, Sarah.
Exactly. So, Doctor, I remember I studied geology back in college. We're studying in UK. They took us to Devon, which has a lot of mountains there, a lot of rocks. So they taught us how to live with the environment, to see by our eyes the rocks. So for you, how can you teach your students? What type of methods you usually do?
Whether it's geology or environmental sciences, it's a field work more than theoretical. In the theoretical part, which is in the classroom, you introduce them to the basic knowledge, and when it reaches the master's degrees, it's an advanced knowledge. However, without applying it in the field and go and touch the rock by itself, examine the soil, and so you will not be able to understand it. Yeah. So basically, we have to go to the field. This is one important step. The other is we use technology at the same time. Okay, so without technology, we take as much material with us in the field plus the classroom. So it's a kind of combination between both. Yeah.
Great.
So it's a combination between both. So let's speak about the combination. Your major, it's environmental and geology. Correct. So when I see anyone in the world, when he talk this major, it's related together all the time, like PR and media, environmental and geology. Is it there are very common things between them, these two studies, Doctor?
Yeah, I'll give you an example. In my master's degree, for example, I studied microshells, very tiny, millimeters and microns in size. And these shells live in these sediments of the ocean or in the sea. So I have noticed that some of these shells, they don't look normal. Okay, for example, if you hold a gastropod shell.
Can you raise your hand?
If you hold a gastropod shell like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, this is the normal way we see it. But if you see it twisted, okay, or maybe not straight like that, you will ask yourself why this is happening. So you try to investigate or put other factors that control such, we call it deformation of it. Okay. So we go to the environmental issues. We study we do geochemical analysis for the sea. We see if the sea has pollutant elements or not. So now you are combining environmental science plus geology in one hit.
So it will be hitting together, Sarah?
Correct, yeah.
So everything related together, see?
Everything related together.
This is just an example, yeah.
Great, and it looks really pretty, this one.
Oh, thanks.
So, Doctor, of course you love geology, and you are trying to teach your students, the next generation, how to love the earth, to appreciate the stones and that features of the earth. So, how can we, or what can we learn from teaching or from learning geology?
I learned two basic crucial concepts: conservation and preservation.
Yes.
Conservation is using the land for a while and then do reclamation for it. So if you dig a hole, okay, you have to bury it, dump it the way you used it the first time.
Yes.
In a way that you don't consume the land forever. Preservation is you just go and enjoy the land without even picking a stone out of it. So I really teach my students how to conserve and preserve. Because if you are going to consume earth material forever, you will end up with nothing. You will just consume it.
Yes.
And this will save the economic resources, will save the environment, will save the human being on the long run.
See, it's like everything like relating together. Doctor, I want to ask you too many things. So too many things in my mind for the environment, for the benefit of the environment of Kuwait and about the rocks itself. So I know that all the science in Kuwait have some programs you are relying on.
Right.
Like for in engineering, we're studying AutoCAD. For the civil engineer, they study structures. Even for geology, I know there is too many programs we can rely on, especially in the PCs and even about something about specific programs. So what do you recommend for us, something of the most important programs if you want to be to study the environmental and geology studies?
Both of the, in geology, we study surface and subsurface.
Yes.
Surface
and subsurface.
Subsurface, okay.
Okay, for the subsurface, of course, you need tools, very advanced tools like geophysical tools. Simply you send waves to the bottom of the earth, and they will be reflected, and then...
Like microwave, doctor?
Well, not microwave, it's seismic waves.
Seismic, okay.
Yeah, you shake the whole land,
Yeah.
and then you receive it back and record the waves and try to explain it. You run it by very, very specialized softwares dealing with log analysis. Okay. If you are going to study the surface material, you just go and collect it by yourself.
Yes.
And then we do have a lot of equipments at Kuwait University that will help you in your investigation. For example, we have the XRD, the XRF. You break the rock into bits and pieces and take the powder of it, analyze it, and then you can tell, for example, the chemical elements of it. You can tell the minerals of these rocks. For the environmental studies, likewise. If you're going to focus on water parameters, for example, the pH, salinity, chemistry of water, also you have to use these kind of tools. As geologists, actually, we use their tools. Likewise, they use our tools.
Yes.
So it's like melting together.
So melting together. So what about your tools you want to ask the doctor?
Well, I would like to ask, how do you really support your students? You have been teaching like from a long time, like I don't know,
More
almost
than 20 years. Yeah.
More than
Correct,
20
yes.
years, which is really a long experience. So how do you support them?
Okay, that's a very good question. I'll give you also examples. How I am satisfied, and I thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that I have seen this in my life.
Yes.
4 of my ex-students, 3 of them are colleagues in my department now.
Nice.
Wow.
So it was your colleagues now.
Right. So one of the things that I do is I keep observing the talented students. If I noticed that they do have future ahead, I will just bring them to my office. And this applies to the 4 of them that I'm telling you about. So I bring them to my office. The first thing I tell them, you will be a doctor in the future.
Directly.
Immediately.
Wow.
That by itself is super motivation for such young generation. So we have a duty. If we observe a talented student, we talk to them, we encourage them. Plus, during teaching, you have to be an idol for the students. Sometimes I have to act, use the body language, change my voice a lot. This will give the students a good example of, okay, should I be a faculty member at the university or not? So your personality also affects the students.
So
Exactly.
it's like your performance, your personality,
Yeah.
your knowledge. You give too much from yourself to them.
I give a lot of energy.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like a good performance. But doctor, I am already see you already brought us too many stones here, right, Sarah?
Yes. But before that, doctor, you are really a great example for a
thank you.
great tutor. We need that in our universities. The new generation, we need to see like a father, not
Absolutely.
only a teacher, to make them love their subject. So back to your question, Aziz, you said about the stones
Yeah,
here.
me and Sarah, we see in the off air you have too many variety of stones, and you
Right.
already tell us something about them, piece of them.
Right.
So can you mention one of them point by point from the beginning until the end?
Yeah, I'll start from the right one over there. These
There.
are crystals.
Like near Sarah, right?
Yeah,
This one.
it's heavy, as you
It's
can
okay.
see. The smoky stuff is what we call the quartz.
Okay.
Simply, this is silica. Silica is used in industry, for example. It is used in cell phones. It's a good conductor. Okay. The pink one is feldspar, basically
This one,
orthoclase.
right?
Yeah, this is an orthoclase. Also, it is used in industry. So now I'll move to the other one, which is my favorite.
Yeah. Look like a canvas.
Yeah, my favorite. This is what I'm specialized
mean
in.
that one?
Fossils, correct?
Okay,
Yeah.
let me just hold it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What you see here is something that you can answer immediately. You can tell me, Mr. Abdulaziz, what is it? These are fish fossils dated 300 million years old.
Oh, wow.
So it's
Okay.
like very old fishes.
It's really
Absolutely,
vintage
yeah.
now.
Even the director said you have to be cautious.
Oh,
so
yeah,
don't fall
yeah.
down.
No, that's okay. Don't worry. Yeah. So the other ones, this is, for example,
Yeah.
this is, we call it ammonite. This is about 150 million years old. But what we do is we cut it into two halves to show you what is happening to the original shell. This used to be an original shell like that.
Okay.
But during preservation over millions of years, there will be some kind of replacement to that original material, to calcite. So people did a good job in this by polishing it, cut it into two halves, and show you its beauty.
Wow, it's a piece of art,
Yeah.
actually.
Piece of art, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Doctor, can I
yes.
ask you a favor? Do you have too many these stones in your home?
Endless.
Endless,
Yeah,
huh?
it's
So it's
endless.
covered
The
your
list
home.
is big, yeah.
So you have like your decoration, all the stones?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. So I'm so into geology.
Obsessed.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
Great. So, Doctor, do you have any last word before we end up our interview?
One of the things I would just like to point to is love Kuwait, because this country deserves a lot. It is giving us a lot. Each one of us lives like a king in his home, and we have to pay back. For example, you in the media, we are in the academia, all of us work together towards the success of this country. And I would like to thank you for having me again, and I would like to thank everyone in the studio for inviting me, and I hope I gave the audience simple knowledge, and it wasn't intense and comprehensible at the same time.
You already
Thank you.
did, Doctor. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And we'd like to thank you. Thank you for the amazing speech. We have to love Kuwait, to work for it, to make it better and better. Because for your academic way and the media way, we are raising and aware the community, aware the viewers about the importance, how do we put together and work better for the country. Thank you so much for being with us today, Doctor.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you so much.
You're most welcome. So all thanks to Dr. Arafat AShuaibi. He's Associate Professor in Kuwait University. He already taught us about the environment and also about the geology science. So dear viewers, don't leave us. So we'll go after this break.